Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Sunday night. It's Sunday during the day there. I think where are you in South Africa?
We're in Durban in South Africa. Nice hot weather, humid weather, and yeah, it's also afternoon now, like early afternoon.
There you go. Yeah. What's been happening this weekend anyway, brother? Anything cool?
We started shooting our music video last night for the single Faded Visions. Was it last night? It was Friday night. Today, my wife and I are going to go watch some bands.
Oh, nice. Sunday session.
Yeah, well, tomorrow's a public holiday, so yeah, they're taking advantage of it. I think, yeah.
Lucky for some. What's the public holiday tomorrow?
I feel terribly embarrassed because I actually can't remember which one it is. I don't follow them all too well. But yeah, if it comes to me, I'll let you know.
That's all good, because as long as you can have a few cold ones and watch some bands and then not have to worry about it tomorrow,
exactly.
It's a 3-hit combo there, my friend.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks for joining us on the show, brother. Of course, your band Truth Decayed, the new EP Faded Visions Part 1 comes out on April 8, and it's the first in a 2-part release. So what was the idea behind splitting that up?
I think it was just, like being couple of older guys in the band, we still like the idea of releasing a full album.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, a lot of guys release more singles or like a string of EPs, and I think just with the access to what people have to music now, they can only focus so much on smaller pieces. So we thought instead of releasing an EP or something like that, it's essentially 2 EPs that form one. So they can get the 5 songs that they'll absorb nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can get the following 5 songs later and absorb them nicely as well. So that was the thought behind it, yeah, just to keep the interest going, yeah.
It's a good way of doing it, man. I've got mates that have been looking outside the box down here as well in the terms of releases and stuff. I mean, I do agree, like, albums are really cool, but, the world has definitely changed in the way it can, people consume things. You know what I mean? So it's definitely
absolutely, man.
You got to roll with that, dude. But I do like how it's a 2-parter. So in that, is there an overall concept that links the 2 together?
Essentially, I think the subject matter and what we write about it, sing about it's still very closely connected to what we do with what we did with Modern Day Illusion, our EP, our 2-track EP before. So it's like a lot of social commentary and that sort of stuff again. But this time we take a deeper look into sort of the psychology behind that and what people might mentally be going through. And just like with Modern Day Illusion, it's not telling people what to think or feel. It's more just a commentary from a witness standpoint. Yeah. So. Yeah.
What about the track PTSD? I mean, obviously that is a very serious subject for a lot of people. So. What inspired that one? Was that something that happened personally?
It's not a personal relation to anyone in the band, at least not as far as I know. Warren wrote the lyrics for that song, actually. But I think he did capture the essence of it very well, because a lot of people were really connected with it. And one of the best things that happened was so many people commenting on the actual posts of the links to the song, and also just direct messages and stuff saying like what the song meant to them. A lot of them are PTSD survivors, and they definitely had some kind of connection with it. Warren does write a lot from a psychology standpoint of things, so I think he's got a very good understanding of it. I like to think I do as well. And yeah, it's just it was amazing how people connected with it, and I think it fits well with the narrative of like we're writing about current events and stuff. And I think things that have been going on in the world in the last 2 or 3 years definitely could have put a lot of people in that position and triggered a lot of those the things that PTSD survivors go through. So yeah,
absolutely, dude. It's hectic.
Yeah,
the last couple of years,
definitely.
like there's a lot to to write about.
Yeah,
let's just say
that is so true. Yeah, no, the world definitely gives us enough subject matter. Yeah,
last couple of weeks alone, brother. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
how you guys are seeing it from your neck of the woods, but we're
yeah,
definitely in scary times, dude. You know?
yeah. At least with my inner circles, but I mean, yeah, we've got free pressure, unlike what Russia probably has at the moment, and
Yeah.
yeah, so we're seeing it. We're seeing it for what it is, and yeah, not good and very scary indeed, as you said. So yeah, very frightening times.
That's why, yeah, man. That's why we need the more metal in the world to keep
Definitely,
it going, right? We need the
yeah,
music
100%,
to keep that positivity and try and, yeah,
100%, man.
a lot to unpack, brother. It's a lot to unpack. But the
Yeah.
response from what I can see from the album so far, are you calling it album or EP? That's the thing. Album or EP?
I call it an album because it is in two parts, and essentially, you can call it a split EP if you want, but I'm
Yeah.
going to go with album.
Okay. All right. Let's call it an album.
Yeah.
I'll retract what I said before. We'll call it an
Yeah.
album. But the whole big word. But obviously, I mean, from what I've seen, the response has been really, really good, dude. Like really positive. And you must be just absolutely loving that. It must be such a good feeling to know that, it's not even out yet and people are frothing it.
It's been good, and quite overwhelming as well, really, to be honest. PTSD did a lot better than we expected, and I think a big part of it was the actual genuine connection that a lot of people had with the song in some way or another. Also, very different to PTSD is we've gotten a lot of reviews beforehand, which is quite strange. Like normally that will come after the launch,
Yeah.
and so on. So that's been pretty interesting to see, and that also people are enjoying it and so on, and I think PTSD played a big role in that, but getting the reviews for the full 5 songs of the first part and people still enjoying it, it's like, that's good. I hope that momentum continues.
Yeah, dude. Nice and early. Nice and early.
Yeah. But even with Modern Day Illusion, we did build a pretty strong international following quite early. I mean, it's not massive yet, but it's the people are connecting from all around the world, and it's nice to see. So I don't know what it is we're doing, but it seems like something is connecting with people, and that's what's really important at the end of the day. Otherwise, we're just playing for ourselves, So
you're on the right path. You're on the right track, brother. Of course, it was produced and mixed and mastered by Kris. How can I say his last name? Sorry, dude. If you watch this interview, Xenopul.
I pronounce it Xenopoulos. I think that's right. Yeah, he hasn't sworn at me yet for saying it like that. So
sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's my Australian. Everything sounds terrible. Everything comes out like, yeah. But of course, how was it working with him on this project?
It's been phenomenal. I mean, it's nice when you meet guys with the success that Vulvodynia has had, and that he's even had it in this personal capacity, and they can still just be so down to earth and so willing to help and just the patience. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I remember right from the beginning, obviously it was a whole different level of professionalism for us to work with them. And the first takes we sent him, I think quite a bit. And he's like, no, you have to redo everything. I was like, okay, so you're talking about this part of that? But he's like, no, everything. You got to redo everything.
Wow.
But yeah, no, but that's the thing. And that's what's brought out such a nice polished product is the work that you got to put in. And then I love the examples that he gives, like how much time Vulvodynia has put in parts for their music, and and you learn from people like this, and it's just nice that there's absolutely no ego there, and he's definitely just as invested in us, even though it's not a Vulvodynia album or a Kris Xenopoulos album. It's still important to him. It's not just a paycheck at the end of the day. So yeah, wonderful guys, so cool, very very humorous as well, and as we all know, crazy talented. Boy's got chops. I mean, plays so well. So yeah.
And I'm sorry for ruining your name, brother. but I tell you what, I mean, that happened with who was it? A band from down our way called Justice for the Damned. They went over to the States and worked with Will Putney, and he was like, said the exact same thing and really pushed them and got the best out of it. And it's like one of our best releases. Sometimes I guess maybe it needs that little pressure, because what's that saying? You know, pressure makes diamonds, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%, man. I agree completely. I think that was the case with us. It definitely got us to sort of reach another level and you know, get some good discipline going and really just get out the best product, you know, because it's so easy to just want to rush it and get it all out. But
Yeah.
I think it definitely made a difference. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, it definitely, it's a killer release, dude. I've been listening to it over the last week or so, and it's kicks ass, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot, man. Especially from the other side of the world, it's always nice hearing that sort of thing, man.
Arse end of the world, yeah. I don't know where you are in the great scheme of things, but
yeah, we're down there with you somewhere, just the other side of
there you
the
go.
globe. Yeah, man.
Mate, well, it's funny. South Africa. I'm in a band with a South African dude, Christian, Christian, in a death metal band down here called Eternal Torment, and I don't know where from over that way, but there you go. The connection is there.
I think I'm sure I've seen some of your stuff on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I was actually follow you up then. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys on Instagram. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Awesome,
there you go.
Man.
Thanks,
cool.
man. Yeah, but the connection, there's that connection. Maybe you got to come down and play some shows with us, bro.
I think I'd love to, because before we did get a lot of attention from different places, particularly Greece, but like with Faded Visions, for some reason, Australia seems to be responding quite big in terms of people like you with the podcast and all that. So yeah, maybe, who knows, eh?
Come down and have some cold ones with us, mate. Bring the wife.
Sounds good.
Have a good time.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, of course, you also won the Battle of the Bands, which was part of it. Your journey has been very interesting to watch, considering you guys have only been together with this project since 2020, early 2020.
Yeah, it was like at the heart of the lockdown. Yeah, that's
crazy.
Thank you. It feels pretty crazy as well. Yeah,
it's awesome though, because to see how much you've crammed into that amount of time and worked your asses off, and how much you've done, it's just phenomenal. I mean, some of that stuff takes bands, especially with the pandemic, years to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the whole world, if you don't know, everything locked down in multiple places and slowed everything down. But you guys just went, bullet gate, made shit happen. How was it? I mean, what was it? You also did like some streaming shows where you opened for like Venom and Rotting Christ and Anvil.
Yeah.
Dude, like, what?
Thank you, man. You're making me blush. But no, look, I think a lot of it has to do with just surrounding yourself with the right people. My sort of journey with the whole lockdown started. I had my solo album that I brought out. I had just done a short tour out of town from where I stay, and the album just sort of technically got released, and then the lockdown happened. I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do now? Like, what the hell? And then I contacted David Westhuizen, Diva Graphic, obviously that you connected with.
Hey, shit out
and
good dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. And surround yourself with the right people. So that was a good first step. And then during the lockdown, when Warren and I started talking, we started trading riffs, and you're like, why don't we start a metal band? I hadn't played metal in a while and all that. And now that he was part of a Metallica tribute at the time. And and having Diva on board in the beginning, I think a lot of bands feel they got to like build up to a certain point, but we were both established and accomplished guys, so it's like, why do that? Why not just go for it straight away? So Diva made a big difference, and also getting someone like Kris to produce the album. I think that's the thing. If funds allow and the opportunities are there, just surround yourself with good people, and the door is open. Or at least that's been the case for us. I can't speak on behalf of everyone else, but it's as much as the hard work we put in, those people created those opportunities, so yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Of course, you're endorsed by AS Guitars, who I checked out their stuff, and they make some really nice, sweet looking axes, brother. how's it working with them? Have you got a custom that they're working on, or what's?
Nothing like that as such. It's a very small business, but the guitars are beautiful. They're made by Lane Smith, which is the AS for AS Guitars, Lane Smith, who used to stay in Durban in my hometown. Yeah, he's actually relocated to Germany, so hopefully we'll get some traction and momentum going there. But yeah, it was also just good relationship that we developed through. He saw me a couple of my solo shows and he was interested, and one day invited me over to come and just test out the guitars, and that's where the relationship started. But yeah, they're fantastic. There's nothing about a custom as such yet, but I think if the company grows, an opportunity might be there, because we help each other and we work together very well, and we've got a good relationship. So I think the main step now is for him to pick the company up in Germany, and then hopefully he can take it off from there, and we'll see. Yeah, there's some bigger names on the roster possibly even.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, you know what else goes on in Germany, hey? Just a little festival over in Germany.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
With a W.
Wacken.
That's the dream, brother. The dream,
Yeah.
The dream. I'd love to. But yeah, hey man, it's all up and up for you. That's the most positive thing about it all. And of course, I mean, you've got a really strong following by the looks of things. I've seen people with tattoos already and stuff like that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's getting there. Well, that was one of the things that blew my mind when I saw people getting the Vulvodynia tattoos. I was like, fuck, these guys are really they're really going places. Okay, we've only got one so far, but it's a start. So yeah, and the merch sales have been great as well. So yeah, I don't know why. So somehow people are connecting with our stuff, and I just hope they continue to do so and continue to enjoy the music. And I hope that we can keep writing stuff that they enjoy. So that's what it's all about.
Exciting times, dude. So where's part 2 at?
We have actually started tracking it. There's 2 solid songs. One of the songs is actually older than 1 or 2 of the songs that's on part 1. So it was just a strategic decision to move that one over. So we've got tracking going. We've got 2 solid songs, and we've got a lot of ideas. Warren's got a lot of riffs going. So I don't know if he's going to write most of part 2. Part 1 was mostly him and myself, but part 2 is looking interesting. And Johan's actually quite involved in the lyrical writing of part 2 as well. So that's going to be quite interesting. Same topical issues, but different take on it, obviously. So yeah, some exciting things ahead. Yeah.
Have you got a goal for when that one is it going to be later in the year, or?
It will be later in the year. I think at the moment we're just going for as soon as possible. And obviously also just making sure we got funds available for Kris, because Kris is going to be doing part 2 as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's keep it tight. He's already got some good ideas. We're discussing some stuff already as well. So yeah, as soon as possible. When you start planning these things, if you set dates, sometimes you kind of miss them. So it's better just to sort of stay on your toes. And Devo from Devo Graphic, he's good for that as well. He's always got the whip ready. So yeah,
he's a good dude. You know what? I want to give a shout out to him. He's a really good dude. And how's it working with him?
It's fantastic. I would never trade it. We work on a monthly retainer. He is 100% my guy. I don't think he's human, because I don't know how anyone can do as much as what he does and do it as efficiently. Yeah, he's a bit of a freak of nature, but he is really good at what he does, and eternally grateful for him. The talents of the band and all that is one thing, but without the help of people like that, you're just invisible. There's so many other talented bands out there, so guys like him really managed to help us connect with people like you, and just to get out to the rest of the world. So yeah, I'm a huge debt of gratitude. So yeah, man.
Get out to David. He's a good dude. You're a good dude. I'm going to give you these.
Very much. Yeah.
Dude, I'm talking about before. I mean, you said it's a public holiday tomorrow. You're gonna probably go out and have a couple of sneaky one of these and watch some bands. What's the scene like in Durban? How would you describe the other bands and what's going on around you and the scene you're part of?
Okay, Durban's a funny one. The talent is there. We have huge amounts of talents, and not just with metal, with anything within the rock spectrum, or even just good music in general. Problem is in Durban we have a major lack of venues. And the scene is just a little bit unstable. We've got another big town by us called Gauteng, Johannesburg, by the Old Mans and all that. They're about 500 to 600 k's away from us, and Pretoria and all those areas. So we've actually performed there more than what we have in Durban. Last year, I think we did 4 shows in Pretoria and 1 in Durban. And we've got another 2, or not Pretoria, Gauteng, that general area. And we've got another 2 already planned now for that coming up April and May, I believe it is. But the Durban scene, as you can see, we're going to a show today. There's stuff happening. It's very tight. And lack of venues is a problem because, metal's not easy to sell to a venue. Like a lot of places just won't take you on for that. And COVID also damaged one main venue that we had, a legendary venue that we have. And I'm not too sure what's happening with them at the moment as well. So the best way I can describe it, Durban, our own local Durban, tons of talent, but really struggling to find gigs and stuff. But it's happening. It's picking up again. It's getting there. And the Gauteng scene and down in Cape Town and stuff, there's a lot of stuff happening there as well. I suppose they might say the same thing, but for us, Gauteng having like 4 usable venues is a lot, so.
Oh, yeah. It's the same down here, dude. We've got 2 venues that'll have the medals here on the Gold Coast. There's a few in Brisbane and stuff, but same kind of deal. But we've got some great bands. We've got some really, really great bands. But hey man, you have to come. One day you'll come down and you'll see. You'll be like, Dive, Moe's. Get out to Moe's. I love Moe's. It's but it's the scene. You got to keep supporting it. Hey, who's playing tonight?
It's a bunch of bands. Main band we're going to go watch is a band called Thorns of Ivory. So they're the only metal band on the bill tonight, but fantastic guys, great group, play very, very well. I know Medicine Dolls is on the lineup. They like more of a punk vibe, and Saturn Return, which is also a very cool punk band. Hope I don't miss anyone. The Kill's also playing, which is more like grunge, alternative grunge type stuff. And there's someone else, but I'm really going to feel bad if I forget who they are. I said The Kill. It'll come to me. But yeah, the main guys we're going to go check tonight, those Thorns of Ivory. They're good mates. And Skinwalker is also on the lineup today. Yeah, that's another good group as well. So
kick ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're good mates of ours, and we try to support as much as you can. You can't complain about a scene if you don't go out and actually support it, so that's the main thing. So we try to do it as much as we can.
Absolutely. And so you've got the release coming up. What else is on the cards? A few shows. What's 20?
Yeah, so we got a very cool gig coming up. It's the April Annihilation gig with a massive lineup of local metal bands, and it's at the best venue in the country probably at the moment, called Sonage. We got that 2nd of April, which is literally 5 days before the official launch, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And then we got another festival on the 7th of May, which is happening also Gauteng side again. That's organized by France Planet. Amazing radio presenter, yeah. Awesome guy. Does so much for the metal scene, and he's doing it with the guys from Springer Events and so on. So big lineup of bands, and a lot of bands that we also know very well and connect with well. So those are shows coming up. And then there's obviously, we've got some cool stuff coming up with the launch. We recorded the music video the other night, as I said. I think I said it earlier. So getting very keen to get that out. The initial shots for the video and stuff looked like they were coming out pretty good. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the line. I don't know what else Devo has planned for us. He always surprises us. I just get the messages and I jump and see how it goes. But yeah, there's some good stuff in the works. But main things is the gigs coming up, obviously the launch, music video that's in conjunction with that, and so on. So yeah, exciting times, man.
It's very exciting times, brother. Very exciting times. Well, man, thanks for hanging out on the show with us tonight. Well, hang on. What's it? Yeah. That's my water.
Yeah, sorry, I don't even have a beer or coffee.
Oh, boy. That's all right.
But cheers anyway.
It's empty anyway. But anyway, thanks for joining us, bro. It's been really cool hanging out with you. Of course, Faded Visions 1 comes out on April 8th, and we'll have all the links down here. Everyone can go get it. Go support them.
April 7th for us, but yeah, I suppose I'm not sure how it falls for you guys. Is it April? Yeah, it is April 7th.
I think.
Unless I'm wrong, it's a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I'm not going to.
You know what?
Yes.
Well, I'm a day late, like usual. But I'll have all the links down here anyway, so people can click on it.
But also keep your eyes open as well, because there's some good stuff happening a couple of days before that as well. So it's going to be a nice build up the whole week leading up to that. So
what's
very exciting.
What's going on?
I can't share all that now. A couple of them are surprises, but
mate,
just keep your eyes peeled. I'll get lashed.
Come on, mate.
Yeah. If I tell you, then you might not watch. So I'll try to wrap you in now.
I'm too far away from you to kill me, so that's all right. But dude, thanks for hanging out on the show, man, and all the best to you and the boys. Stay safe. Get your asses down here to Australia. I don't know if
we are very keen for that.
Yeah, you're getting both. There you go. But yeah, take care, man. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, and just thank you for the support and the kind words of the album as well. Truly appreciate that, man.